everybody. This is MMA Marks. It's January 2nd, 2019, the first podcast of the year. And we are getting ready by recapping UFC 232. And then we're going to give our knockout of the year, of submission of the year, and who we think champs are going to be at the end of 2019. It's going to be a good podcast, so let's get down to business. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How just trying to recover from New Year's Eve.
You have a good one?
Yeah. I went out, got a couple drinks with a friend, and I'm used to being up early, so staying up to midnight, it was killing me and him. We both worked together, and as soon as the ball dropped, we paid our tab and left out and slept really hard. But I didn't drink too much.
Where'd you go?
It's a little local bar around my way, Clancy's.
Yeah.
It's a fun time.
That's good.
And what about you? What you do for your resolution?
I was playing the single dad, had my two kids, and I had a third. They had their cousin spend the night, so they could go out and party. It was a good time. We played games, made snacks. I let them beat pots and pans when the ball dropped. It was good.
You said so they could go out and party. The kids were going out partying?
Well, they were partying here, but no.
You mean the parents of the...
Yeah, the parents of my cousin, my little cousin. Let them go party.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good time. I had a nice one. It was it was a quiet one, and I like quiet sometimes. And it was good.
Well, I did a little bit of partying, but I guarantee I didn't do as much party as Jones did after that fight.
Oh, hell no. The cocaine was flowing, I bet. Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, did you hear what happened after the fight?
No, what happened?
McGregor, he had sent Jones a bunch of proper 12. And then
That's a smart move.
Yeah, well, for one, it's good for McGregor. But Jones had actually tweeted out and was like, thank you. The bar at my hotel was actually closed after the fights, so this came in just in time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was cool.
That's good publicity, man. That's how that man knows how to make money.
Well, he's paying the right people to make his business right.
I know, right? So, you want to jump right into this UFC 232?
Yeah.
So, I know we should have went over it during our little post or a little pre-brief. But do you want to start at the top of the card and work our way back, or start at the prelims and work our way up?
Yeah. Let's go backward, or let's go like we would watch it. What was the first fight that you really want to talk about?
The first fight was actually the first fight on the card.
Okay, because I missed that. If you don't remember, I was running late.
Oh yeah. So it was Kellner versus Montel Jackson. This was a really short fight, but it was good because Montel Jackson took the fight over. He made it look super easy, like he was in there with a complete amateur.
So what'd he do? What
he did was he pressured him in strikes, pushed him up against the cage. When the guy came off the cage, he took him down, headlock, front face lock, and then he took him down, and he got him into a front face headlock and sunk his arm in for a Doris.
Yeah.
And immediately locked it up, walked him out. He didn't even hook the leg. He didn't need to because he was so close to the cage.
Oh, yeah, I seen the replay.
Then just took him right out. I mean, that was within, I don't know, say the first 2 minutes of the fight.
He was trying to slide around, but then the cage caught him.
Yeah, he didn't need to. And the guy didn't even like. Now Kellner.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. He was trying to slide the right way, but
Kellner was
caught the cage.
Yeah, he was trying to run away, but when he caught the cage, he didn't like try to go up or anything or try to move his body.
Maybe the choke was synced enough beforehand.
I guess
so. He kind of didn't have the energy.
Yeah, it was. But he made short work of that guy.
I was excited. I wanted to see that fight. Now I remember I was upset I missed it. Brian Kelleher, he lost, but he's been looking good lately. Like he's kind of like he was kind of a rising. I'm sure he's still going to come back. And then Montel Jackson, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think he was on
the Contender
Series, and he was good on there.
He looked like a star.
Was Montel Jackson the guy that fought Santos on early, or was it Thiago Latis or some shit?
Talis Latis?
I mix up all their names.
Right.
I think he fought somebody on short notice recently.
It may be.
No.
I can't remember.
The guy I'm thinking of is a light heavyweight.
I can't remember.
Never mind. I'm wrong.
Okay. So after that, they had Millender versus Millender. Jesus, that's the name I thought I was gonna get right. Versus Bahadurasada.
Oh hell no, you ain't gonna get that right. Yeah, I think that's another one I missed.
So Millender took that guy over in strikes and he out footworked him. He did so much footwork and moved around, kept in range, and just tagged the guy to death. And he won decision, and that was pretty much it.
On our Instagram fight picks, I picked Millender.
Oh yeah, you did very well this fight picks.
Yeah. Side note,
way better than me.
Side note, I went 11 for 13 on my fight picks. That's the best I ever did. And Ricky went what was it, 4?
Yeah, 4 or 3.
It was 4. It was 4 out of 13.
It was horrible.
But
I didn't know what I was doing.
So the first fight I want to talk about, I think this one was next, was Uriah Hall.
Yes.
Yeah, Uriah Hall. He wasn't looking too good at first.
No, I didn't. I thought he was going to lose this fight for sure because he looked very tentative. He looked like he didn't
show up at first.
He didn't have it. Whatever it is, he didn't have it.
He didn't show up with that killer instinct.
No, he didn't.
He was a nice guy at first.
Why does he do that? I don't understand.
But his gray hair was showing. He just looked. The guy looked like a younger version of Uriah Hall.
It kind of did.
You know what I mean? The guy he was facing. I can't even remember the guy's name. Do you remember?
Yes, his name is.
Excuse me.
Bevion Lewis.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was looking good. I mean, his strikes and combinations were good. He was having good pressure. And I think he was handedly walking away with this fight. And then in the third round, he got a little careless and closed the distance when he shouldn't have. And Uriah caught him with a beautiful fucking uppercut. And he went out cold. I mean, just out cold.
And Uriah Hall, hopefully he gets another good fight. Like I said, Polacosta, when he fought him, he kind of cheated him out, kicked him in the balls like 3 times in a row. So maybe give him a rematch or something.
Yeah, I'd like to see Polacosta fight in this.
He's gonna be fighting Yoel, I think.
Yoel?
That's been rumored or supposed to happen off and on for a while now. So that's probably gonna be a fight coming up.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Well, the other fight ended that main evented the early prelims on Fight Pass was Wood versus Ewell. And that was a 3rd round submission.
Yeah.
And I didn't really pay attention to that fight. I think you were just coming in. I don't know much about it, so we can move on further. Well, the first fight we all sat down and watched was the BJ Penn versus Ryan Hall.
All right, so
go ahead.
Let's go ahead and say this.
Go ahead.
We're watching a fight. All of a sudden, Ricky wants to be Mr. Shit Talker. Oh, what happened to your boy? I thought Ryan Hall was gonna. I thought he was good. I thought you said he was good. I'm like, all right, just wait. I said he gonna wrap his ass up, and guess what? Hall wrapped him, and Penn tapped him.
I mean, as soon as I said, I thought your guy was good, you were talking all this hype about him. As soon as I said that, he backed up, shot in for that Bambarella, locked up a heel hook, and tapped PJ Penn within seconds. It made it look so pretty. And I actually became a fan of this kid, Ryan Hall, as soon as that happened, of how quick he tapped PJ Penn. And it wasn't that he tapped PJ Penn, because, I mean, yes, that's a good feat.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he got the heel hook, and if you watch the fight back again, PJ Penn started to spin the right way to get out of it, but he locked up the knee and took the heel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was lightning fast with the correction,
mm-hmm.
and that speaks volumes.
There's levels to this shit.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, BJ Penn might be a black belt, But there's levels to this shit.
He's on a whole nother level with that. I mean,
On the Anik and Kenny Florian podcast,
yeah.
they was talking. I think Kenny Florian might be somehow affiliated with Ryan Hall.
Yes,
He might train under him or
trains
something.
with him.
But I mean, obviously he's going to be a little biased. But the way he was talking, and this, I believe this because I've kind of heard this, but you don't hear much about Ryan Hall because he's kind of he don't have much of personality. Kind of just makes goofy faces. Like I'm here, but I'm barely here.
Yes.
But they was talking about how no one in the top 15, top 10 want to fight him. He's having trouble getting fights. It's like, dude, he wants to fight the good talent, but no one wants to sign that contract against him.
Well, because it's a death warrant, because it's not a popular fight where you're going to make a bunch of money on, but it's a hard fight where
It's high stakes,
yeah, you're going to lose.
and it's high stakes, and it's very, very
Yeah, I mean,
not much. It's not much gaining, even if you do win.
he was lightning quick with good technique, and that's really hard to come by these days. Sometimes you have lightning quick guys that can get a position and then slowly get on a submission, but he had the whole package where he would jump back. He landed that Bambarilla very, very smooth and perfect.
But there's been matches where he's thrown like 30 of them. If Bambarilla's the roll,
Yeah, where you would grab your heel, grab the leg, and invert your hips above their knee and roll into a leg lock.
for anybody that doesn't know or is having trouble understanding what we're saying, you can always look up Ryan Hall and watch any of his fights. He does it. It's like he spams that, but he's also really good at it. But it's basically like, on the simplified terms, he's standing in front of you. Next thing you know, he does a barrel roll towards you and grabs your leg and flips you and somehow gets you in a submission.
You never see it coming, and he
it's
hides
cool.
it very, very well.
It's cool.
Yes, he does a very good job. And that happens so quick. Now, what do you think about BJ Penn? Is it time to hang him up for him?
Yeah, maybe go to Golden Boy. There's always a place somewhere. Him and Vitor and Tito.
Wow, damn, that's cutting him deep. I would have just said retire, man. You cut him deep. You went.
You think I'm bad?
You went.
I was talking to Kevin about him, and he was like, "Man, I hate Penn."
He hates Penn? Oh,
I don't know if you went that hard, but I was just like, "Oh, you're kind of ragging on this dude."
So, you talk about Kevin from the Backlog Exposed.
Oh yeah. Shout out Kevin.
Oh yeah.
We always got to give you a little bit of a plug.
Oh yeah, Backlog Exposed for all your gaming podcast needs. He's got it, and he's I think by now he should be sponsored by PS4 VR.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So after that fight, man, we had this fight that I guess I was so high on PJ Penn losing and Ryan Hall winning, I didn't even notice this fight. The Silva de Andrade versus Jan.
Yeah, I don't know that fight.
I didn't see it, but the guy Jan beat him either KO or TKO in the second round. I didn't even see it. I don't think I even looked at it.
Yeah, we was all me and Ricky, and we had our his stepbrother, my cousin, he was here with us, Jordan, and sometimes we get off topic. We'll have a little back and forth. Sometimes we'll miss a whole fight by accident. But that's what happens when you watch fights with people.
Yeah, man.
Everybody watches the exciting ones, and sometimes you just trail off when you don't know the guys too well.
Yeah. So after that, we had the fight that I was kind of looking forward to.
Yeah. Which
was Katzengano versus Megan Anderson. Now everybody's saying that Megan Anderson was going to whip her ass, and I was saying Katzengano should have won. But here we are. I guess hindsight's 2020. Katzengano lost, but she didn't lose.
But she did.
Okay, so what happened is Megan Anderson was putting pressure on her, and she was pushing the pace, which was really making Kat pedal back, and she was losing. And then she got caught with a 1-2 kick. It's a very, very simple, very, very basic combination. So she hit the 1-2, went to the kick. The kick, her big toe caught Kat right in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
cut her eyelid and her eyeball with her toenails, which is, I know you guys think, okay, they fight barefoot. It's bound to happen sometimes, but that's something that very rarely happens. And as soon as it happened, you could visibly see that Kat got poked in the eye, and she backpedaled, ran to the other side of the cage.
But she didn't protect herself at all times.
Well, she didn't protect herself at all times because I guess she figured she got poked in the eye. And I don't know how you feel about it, but I kind of feel that a poke in the eye is a poke in the eye. I mean, if you slap somebody, like if Nate Diaz was to fight somebody and he does that Stockton slap and actually hits the guy in the eye, the ref's going to stop it and give the guy
Maybe not
a minute or two.
Not unless it's an eye poke. Because, like, think about a recent fight. But anyway, I can't remember. The dude got punched in the eye right away. I think it was Jamie Manawa.
Yeah.
He got punched in the eye. It fucked up his vision right away. It fucked up his eye. It was like an eye poke, but with the fist.
Yeah, but it was a fist. It was a
but
closed
it fucked
fist.
his eye up. Like,
Yes.
It's just, you know what I mean? So it's like, where we draw the line here. I think it should just be a regular eye poke.
So I looked into this because I wasn't going to come on here and spout my opinion and say, oh, the ref should have stopped the fight without looking into it. So the referee and multiple referees agree that the reason they stop for an eye poke is because you can control your fingers way more than you control your toes.
There you go.
So if you get kicked, you can't really control your toes. And I tend to agree with those people.
It makes sense.
So what I think needs to happen is I think that the Megan Anderson and Kat Zingano fight needs to run it back. They need to do a rematch.
Yeah.
And
and I even heard that she might be trying to appeal the loss.
It's very likely that they could get a no contest out of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. With the decision of the ref making and the reason behind it, I don't think it's going to be a no contest. But I do think that she deserves a rematch.
So on my notes, I just want everybody to know what I wrote. I actually wrote Megan Anderson, Ricky Reed a bitch. She Ricky'd a bitch is what I wrote. Because when he was like 16 or so living at my house, he had tiger claws as toenails and ripped through a bed sheet.
Wow, you want to bring up my personal shit like that?
So
wow.
maybe she took a pointer from Ricky.
You motherfucker.
They call him tiger toes.
Oh, all right.
Every now and then you got to get a little personal, right?
I see we're airing out laundry here, okay?
like that's something to be embarrassed about. He was like 16. You're like 105 now.
Fuck you. All right. So moving on, we had that main event at the prelims on FS. One was Andre Arlovski versus Mr. Harris.
Yeah. So what I thought Harris was going to win. He did win.
Yeah.
And I thought, I might even said this in the previous episode. Arlovski's been weird lately. He fights weird lately. There's something about the way he fights. Just I don't like it. But then again, he's been winning on these decisions a lot of times. Like he'll like edge a decision.
Right.
But it's like, I don't know. It's just like he's fighting too safe almost.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like he's not his old self.
Well, he can't.
But he's got to be careful. He's got to be more careful.
Right. He's fragile.
So he's like having these weird decisions, and he might, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So my notes on this was that it was a snooze fest. It was a snoozer. They were tagging each other. Everybody was really tentative. Nobody really engaged to win the fight. They kind of just was like, I'm going to get the decision. Mm-hmm. And it was almost like Harris knew that Arlovski wasn't going to trade with him, that he was going to stay on the outside and kind of pick at him. And Harris just kicked the leg and beat up his head.
The way I kind of looked at it was the whole fight is like Arlovski kind of stayed a little bit more active in a way, but Harris, he was landing better.
Yes.
So it's like the pressure, Arlovski might have been like, Harris might even have more pressure, but Arlovski was like throwing more, it felt like.
Yeah. It does say Arlovski threw more punches, but they
I don't even know the stats. Is that even correct? But
that actually is correct.
I'm just saying what it felt like to me when I watched it.
Yes, Arlovsky threw more punches, but Harris landed more significant strikes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, so Harris took away that one. It was kind of a snoozer.
Yeah.
And then we move on to the main card.
All right. So the first fight was what? The one that I was wrong on? One of the few?
Oh, yes. And this was actually one of my ones that I was correct on. So it was Chad Mendes versus Alexander Volkanovski. Now, Volkanovski trains with Israel Adesanya.
I did not know that. I didn't know nothing about this guy.
And he has very good striking. And the thing that sets him apart from these guys, from these other 145ers, is pressure.
Yeah.
He has a pace that is...
Well, who he was facing has pressure.
He does, but who's hungrier?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Chad Mendes was known for his pace, but he lost his hunger somewhere along the line.
Well, he just started looking a little better. He was on a comeback. He didn't have. I'm talking about before the fight.
Okay.
It was mentality didn't have to be the way it was or the way you're saying. He was actually on the come up.
Okay. You'll say that. I don't. I think that he was more concentrated on his hunting.
He knocked out Miles Jury, dude.
That doesn't mean that. I mean,
I'm saying like he could have had momentum behind him, but he didn't because he had distractions.
okay.
Probably.
Okay.
Well, obviously because
Yeah.
what happened after the fight?
He retired.
So
Volkanovski beat him. He put too much pressure on him and kept hitting him in the head. And Chad, from my viewpoint, in my opinion, he gave up.
Yeah.
He dropped to a knee and turtled up. And Volkanovski was beat him with TKO. I think he just, somewhere in that fight, he said, why am I doing this to myself anymore? And he turtled up and just basically quit.
He doesn't need to fight anymore.
No, he doesn't.
And that's where his mindset's at now.
Right.
You're right with the hunting thing. I remember, was he on the Joe Rogan podcast or something?
Mm-hmm.
So when he was on Joe Rogan podcast, and I might have been another podcast I heard him on, but I heard him on a few different ones, I think. And he's talking about his business, which is a hunting thing that they get celebrities to hunt with you.
Yes, he's an outfitter for some, I forget where, but he's a hunting outfitter.
That's cool, man. I've never been hunting. I would do that. I mean, I ain't got the money to do that, but you know what I mean.
I mean, this guy takes down huge game animals.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's got to be making good money on that. And plus, it's something that he's probably more passionate about right now. He probably does want to be on those performance enhancers. Because I mean, even if you're not performing, in front of 100 million people on TV or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes these guys, they're used to working out a lot, and maybe he's like, hey, I'm getting older. I want to use these PEDs and have a good time hunting and working out and training and helping other people train.
Right. And he just, look, my hat's off to him. Chad Mendes was a very good fighter in his time, and he had a pace like nobody else.
He gave Aldos a fight. He gave...
The first fight was a good one. The second one, not so much.
Yeah, he gave McGregor a good fight.
He did. And
what I mean? He's no slouch.
No, not at all. He is definitely a world-class athlete and a world-class fighter, and I'm glad we got to see his career.
I think he'll do very good in the Golden Boy. That's where we send all the retired fighters now.
Wow, Golden Boy.
Nah, man, I really do like Mendes. I thought he was gonna win, obviously, but so everybody one of the commentators. It might have been Kenny Florian or John Ankid or whoever. Somebody said that he was a rugby player.
Volkanovski.
Yeah, was a rugby player and weighed 215 pounds.
Yes.
Now there's nothing but pictures going around of how jacked this dude was.
Did you see how big he was?
He's like a tiny jack dude. It's awesome.
Dude, he was huge. He was
he's still jacked, but I mean...
He's a big guy, man. He's a real big guy.
They're fighting at 145, right?
Yeah.
Here, they're fighting at 145. When he was in rugby, he was 215.
That's crazy.
And he looks like a healthy 215.
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't a fat 215. He was a big, thick, jacked up 215.
Kind of makes me think, like, did he get sick or something and lose a bunch of body mass?
I don't know, man. I mean,
it's kind of weird.
Laid off steroids, probably.
Or got different ones.
some Jon Jones steroids. So moving on from that fight, we have a Latifi versus Anderson.
That was the next fight?
That was the next fight in the way that we saw it, and that's not the way I wrote it down. So I know you're looking at me like I got
okay,
three
whatever.
heads.
That's fine.
So Latifi versus Anderson. I had Latifi winning this fight.
Yeah.
But what happened was Anderson just had too much reach, and his fight IQ was way higher than Latifi expected, and Latifi gassed out.
Yeah, what I said was Corey Anderson pulled a Corey Anderson and got the decision win. He outgrinded him.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. He knew I had better cardio than Latifi. I'm going to go out there and get this win.
And now Corey Anderson was trying to call out Jon Jones after this.
If you don't remember, a while back, he was actually asking DC for a fight.
Right. And do you think that Corey Anderson is ready for that kind of level of fighter?
Might be.
I don't know. I didn't see anything special in Corey Anderson that fight. I seen that a guy with a pretty decent fight IQ.
But can he grind out a decision on Jones, maybe?
Fuck no.
Maybe.
I don't even like Jones, and hell no.
Jones, who do you think has a... So, since that's rumored, and they kind of went back and forth on Twitter...
Okay.
Which, by the way, he said he called out Jones on Twitter, Corey Anderson.
Of course.
And Jones actually replied, said, you don't want none of this smoke.
Right.
And then Corey Anderson said, I want all the smoke. And he's like, oh, my man. But, dropping some other words in there. But they was all good. They was like, so it sounds like the ready, Jones is like, I'll fight you, whatever. But, so it seems like everybody, whenever Corey Anderson calls out for a fight, people accept, it just doesn't happen. But he actually was even making points, which was true. And he was like saying, like, don't give it to Anthony Smith. He hasn't really earned his place yet.
Bullshit.
He came to light heavyweight recently and beat a couple people.
He beat some damn good people.
I think he needs one more fight.
Consistently. And I think he needs one more fight as well. But
as far as Corey Anderson, I would argue that he might not need that one more fight.
You know what I want to see? Now that we're talking about that, I want to see Anthony Smith versus Corey Anderson.
I don't.
And then see the winner go fight Jones. See what happens.
Fight Jones. Who? Fight Jones.
Now, Jon Jones, I don't like at all. I never did. Never really cared for the guy.
You liked him until he started messing up.
Which was day one?
How about when he beat Matt Hamill?
But Matt Hamill.
I want to call him Mark Hamill. I think that's
that's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, that's why I was stuttering because I couldn't remember. I was like, "Damn, which one's which?"
But he beat
back when he beat Matt Hamill.
Okay,
and
he beat Matt Hamill because Matt Hamill was deaf and he couldn't
actually
hear
lost
the
to
ref.
Hamill, by the way.
He couldn't hear the ref. Okay?
Officially, it was a loss.
Yeah, no, it was a no contest. But I understand.
No, it's a loss.
It's a loss.
Yeah,
no way.
Jones has a loss on his record because Matt Hamill illegal strikes.
Illegal strikes.
He got DQ'd. So anyway, and when he beat Stephen Bonner with the spinning back elbow when he was brand new, dude, you was high on him too, man.
When he was brand new, yes, okay.
He was high on him.
Then you started getting into his character,
personal life, yeah,
and it started fucking up. And then I said I got to back the fuck up. But either way, moving on to the next fight.
On to the next one.
Okay, Latifi got his ass whipped by Anderson. Okay,
well, I wouldn't go that far. He got outgrinded.
Okay, he got outgrinded. Okay, everybody,
whatever.
He got outgrinded. Moving on to the next fight. Next fight was pretty good. It was Carlos Condit versus Michael Chiesa.
I think I called this one to a T.
You actually did, and it pisses me off a little bit
to a
that
T.
You were so fucking right.
To a T.
Now,
at first, my first guess, I'll give it to you. My first guess, I said Condit would win by decision, but then like the next week, and then even afterwards, I was like, I 100% agree with my second choice. I don't know what I was on my first choice. I think I was
weed.
I think I was a little worried. Speaking of throwing out dirty laundry or whatever, airing out laundry. You got me back. There you go. Thank you. So anyway, We got Chiesa, who this is his first fight as a 170
Right.
in the UFC. I don't know if he's ever fought 170 before. He probably has, like in his early years or something.
Yeah.
But his first fight in the UFC is 170. So at first I was like, yeah, you know what, Carlos Condit, he's big. You know, he's used to being bigger. He's carrying them. This is his fighting class, his weight class.
Yeah.
That was my first initial thought. And then I started thinking, I was like, nah, this Michael Chiesa is not really a small guy. He was kind of big for 155. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give my boy Chiesa. And he's just good. Like, he's like Kevin Lee. Like when Kevin Lee and him fought, I remember thinking, like, they're almost the same fighter in a lot of ways.
I can see that.
So that's why I said submission.
Yeah.
I was thinking he's going to take it back, do this, do that. You know what I mean? I could see just a lot of outcomes like that.
Now, what happened in that fight was very, very cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen a fight. I've never seen a submission like that ever. It was an improvisation, if that's a word. Improvisation of a Kimura. So he had half guard, and he went for a Kimura on the far side of Carlos Condit's arm. And he had one arm to lock it up. And if you see the fight, you understand what I'm talking about. Where he takes the arm and stretches it out straight and stretches it out backwards. So
But it doesn't break anything. It doesn't, you don't
it
hear
doesn't
the
break,
limb
but
snap or anything.
no, but you bend the arm the wrong way. The arm is not supposed to go that way.
Yep.
So if you were to take your arms and put them bound by your sides and try to go backwards towards your back as far as you can, that's the direction that Michael Chiesa took Carlos Condit's arm.
Yeah.
And when he had it with one arm. And once he had it, I'd say, what do you think? About 100 degrees. 100 degrees from his hip. From Carlos's hip, about 100 degrees.
It's hard to do the math. I was going to say 45 degrees, but
It was a little further than that.
Maybe I'm thinking of 115.
Well, if straight up and down if straight up and down from your hip to straight up above your head is 180 degrees, you would think come back a little bit, about 100 degrees. So he had his arm pretty far out there, and then he started bringing it towards the center of Carlos Condit's back. Mm-hmm. And that was just too much pressure for Condit to take, and he tapped out pretty quick after that.
Yeah, well, so it was a Chiesa. Essentially, Chiesa gave him a modified one-arm Kimura.
Now, this was in round 2 as well, so they had a whole round to kind of feel each other out and strike.
But I just wanted to like kind of touch on the whole Kimura part.
Go ahead.
He's like, when you see somebody do a regular Kimura, when they get their like kind of like get their footing and everything with it, a lot of times that's when you see people snap arms.
Yeah.
You know, you just see some nasty Kimuras. You can look that up, man. It's nasty. So, it sounds, it kind of didn't even look that effective from when you're watching. I mean, it is, but it doesn't nearly look as effective as snapping somebody's arm. But the fact that when you have it in right, you know that even the modified way is probably very, very painful.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I wouldn't recommend trying it.
No.
Like, go ahead and put me in it.
Yeah. Yeah, but hats off to Michael Chiesa.
He's going to be good in 170.
He is. He looks very good at 170. And he looks hungry.
Who's next?
At 170,
that puts him in a mix with Colby, Askren, all them.
I want to see him face a good striker like Stephen Thompson or Darren Till. That's who I want to see him fight.
Till's too big.
Well, I mean, he's still 170.
Till needs to go to 185.
I'm saying Till
needs to go to 185 and fight Adesanya.
Adesanya would fucking kill Till. Kill him. Kill him.
But, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I wish the best for Till. I mean, I don't personally like him that much, but I want to see him do well. He got humbled in his last fight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right. Time for the probably fight of the night or the moment of the night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My jaw was on the ground when I seen this. I could not believe it. I mean, everybody thought, well, you two thought, Donovan and you thought that Nunes would win. but not in the fashion that it happened.
Did he? He might even said first round knockout.
I don't think he said first round. We got to go back and look.
I know when I said it, I said probably fourth round or so.
Right.
Because I thought movement and speed and tiring her out.
Yeah.
But she came in and fought her game.
Well, no. What she did was she did something very, very smart, which I didn't think that Cyborg would fall into this trap, but she did. Mm-hmm. So I watched this fight like 3 times already because I could not get enough of this.
Can I just guess where you're going with this?
Okay, go ahead.
Is this another instant of Verdum versus Stipe?
A little bit.
Because it's like Verdum, the Brazilian, how they train, how if they get popped, they want to pop you back.
Oh yeah.
So it's like eye for an eye or pop. So you get a punch, I get a punch. That's they were going punch for punch almost.
Almost, but this is the thing that Nunes
baited her in.
Yes, because
she thought it was gonna be a brawl.
She knew how Cyborg brawled.
Yeah,
like she trained for the brawl. She trained for the overhand right hook, and she would just come over her shoulder, and the jaw was open.
There's so many good pictures from that fight. Did you see all the ones with Mark Goddard in the background?
No, I didn't see
like
it.
When the one punch to Cyborg's face that landed, and it looks like her fist is entering her face, and Mark Goddard's in the background, like just looking so horrified, like oh my god. And then like there's a picture of Nunes, like they're showing her winning and stuff, and like Mark Goddard just looks sad as hell, and everybody's like, I guess Mark Goddard bet on the wrong person.
I did see that meme. I did see that. Yeah.
You piece of shit.
So the
shouldn't be betting on fights, motherfucker.
Damn, you hate Mark Goddard with a fucking passion.
I don't know if they can bet on fights, but they definitely shouldn't be able to. The refs?
No, I don't think they should be able to either. But I mean, it's really easy for them to go, hey, Johnny, bet on this for me.
Yeah, you get 100 if
right.
Win or lose.
Right, but
just replacing it for me in your name.
Chris Cyborg, she got angry, and she started brawling with Amanda Nunes. Now, what Nunes did was Nunes kicked her lead leg out and hurt her.
Yeah.
And that's what sparked the brawl. It wasn't that she popped her in the face, because Cyborg was anticipating getting jabbed at.
No, but when she did punch her, it was
very brutal.
Yeah.
But so what Cyborg did was Cyborg didn't train, or Cyborg didn't adjust to the strikes. She just said, I'm bigger, I'm going to knock you the fuck out.
Yeah.
But what she didn't anticipate was that Nunes is just as big as Cyborg. I didn't think they were the same size like that, but they're really close in size.
If anything, she... You know, they say like sometimes even like the most super cut person isn't the strongest. Like you look at the world's strongest men, like the competitions.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's like kind of fatter guys.
Uh-huh.
So maybe even though she's not cut, but they weigh the same, maybe she's throwing that weight a lot more better.
And that was really proven there, but
you know.
But the thing is that when Cyborg brawls, she brawls like Vanderlei, and she throws them wide whipping hooks.
Kind of, but...
And that's what she was anticipating that.
She was also lunging it a little bit.
Yeah, she was mad.
Like,
she was not
overstepping, I guess is the word.
She was not fighting smart. She wasn't. And I think that she learned that really quickly, and she recognized it once she goes back and watches the fight. I think she's gonna clean that up, and I can't wait for the rematch. I want to see the rematch more now, because yes, Amanda Nunes whipped her ass, and that is, wow, what a feat that was. I'm not taking that away from Amanda at all, and I didn't have Amanda winning. I thought she was going to lose.
Yeah, but I heard a lot of rumors. I don't know how true they are, but I heard that this was her last fight on the contract, Chris Cyborg, and I also heard that Chris is not interested in staying in the UFC. Well, it's too hard of a fight. I mean, too hard of a weight cut. And I just heard that there's other opportunities elsewhere.
Yeah, I think
like Golden Boy, she can fight
Man, you are pushing
I'm
Golden
just,
Boy.
I'm just messing with you.
pushing
I don't know
Golden Boy
why.
tonight.
Like
Did Oscar pay you? Did Oscar pay you?
She can fight Chad Mendez and Golden Boy. They'll be in the same weight class.
Oh man, that'd be fucking funny.
Nah, but that really solidified her as the greatest female fighter. A lot of people are saying like that's too early, but it's like, dude, she beat Ronda first round, Miesha Tate first round, Chris Cyborg first round.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all the greatest female fighters. Like they were all, they're all,
I don't see
arguably.
anybody. I don't see anybody touching her anytime soon. Like,
yeah, well, Holly Holmes is the fight to make.
but she has to get through that girl Ladd or whatever her name
Aspen
is.
Ladd. So it's probably whoever wins that is
Yeah.
going to fight Nunes.
Right. But man, yeah, if I was a coach, which I'm not, but if I was, I would say you'd have to take Nunes to the ground and see how good her ground game is, because to fight her brawling style is a losing battle.
Well, Valentina still feels like she won. She wants to fight her.
Valentina did beat her.
Yeah, well, she wants to fight her again. It's a fight. I think what they should do is I think they should have Nina Arnasoff or whatever her name is.
Azaroff.
Whatever her name is.
Yeah.
I think they should have her fight.
Valentina.
And then if she does win, if she beats the girlfriend, then she fights the other girl.
Come on now.
That's how she gets a rematch. She has to beat the girlfriend first.
I think that we'll get into that later. Trust me, because I have a hard stance on that.
Well, also they have said they were on. I think it was on Unfiltered, UFC Unfiltered, and they both actually said they would fight each other. The girlfriends.
Well, of course. They're making money hand over fist at that point.
But they said they go at it pretty rough in the training. Sometimes they got to be separated because they want to fuck each other up so bad.
I bet they do.
They start off hating each other, and then it turned into a love fest.
I know. What's that old adage that you hurt the ones you love?
I don't know. All I know is I heard about they were scissoring in the.
Whoa!
All right, so now we go to the GOAT.
Okay, the GOAT. Wow, you call him the GOAT already?
Already? I've been calling him the GOAT forever.
Yeah, fuck him.
He's the greatest to ever do it right now.
No, he's not.
Who's better than him?
Who's better than him? As in what? Talent?
MMA.
And
Completely.
talent-wise?
Who's better?
DC's better.
He beat DC twice.
No.
Once by decision, and then another time knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah, but then it taints it all because of the steroids.
Does it though? Like
See,
they were
now,
all on. They definitely were all on steroids back in the day.
I want to get into that with you. I want to hear your opinions, and I want to hear your views on these certain situations. So what we're talking about, everybody, is the main event. It's Jon Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson, and the fight itself was very technical. If you know the fight game, if you were just a casual fan, it looked kind of boring, but
Really,
it did to me. I mean, because I look at both. I look at both ways. Because Jon Jones used a lot of footwork and he used a lot of defense to beat Gustafsson, and he took him down and pounded him out. And it wasn't the back and forth striking match that it was the first fight.
I thought the fight was very interesting.
How so?
Like, I mean, it kept me on the edge of my seat because I thought either one. I mean, they both were talking, and they both. It seemed like they both wanted to finish each other, but the problem is, and this was talked about, and then if you go back and watch the fight after knowing this happened, it all makes sense. Jones injured Alex Gustafsson in the first round. Injured his groin by like some kind of leg kick that just got his groin messed up.
Okay.
So his movement was off the whole rest of the fight after that.
Yeah, but if you actually look and break down the fight, now I'm going off of not the best analyzer, but I watched Luke Thomas, and Luke Thomas broke this down pretty good.
Did he know about the injury?
I don't think he did.
Maybe he didn't know, so that kind of might have changed his opinion if he found out about it.
But it doesn't change the fight IQ.
I feel like it changed it.
This is what I want to ask you. Okay, steroids aside. Okay, the steroids itself does not affect your fight IQ. Jon Jones has one of the best fight IQs I've ever seen in UFC.
If
The way he can adapt to any situation and change his fight game on the fly is I don't see too many fighters matching his IQ the way he can take fights from the past and the fight that he's in and combine all those lessons and make a good fight plan on it. So what he did with Gustafsson, that he kept him out at range the whole time. Like he would jab him and then he would clinch. He would jab him and then he would clinch. He would never let Gustafsson blitz him. Mm-hmm. And that's when Gustafsson would win the fights, is when he would blitz him.
Yeah.
But he never let him get off. What he did was kind of what Max Holloway does with his fighters. He would catch him on the half beat.
His opponents.
Oh, sorry.
No, I know what you meant.
Yeah, he would catch him on the half beat. So, like, if you were to do your combinations, you would go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2,
yeah.
1, 2, 3. On that 1, 2, that's when Jones would hit you. Mm-hmm. Is that half step or that half beat, and that would throw up your whole rhythm. And with Gustafsson, he's a rhythm fighter. Once he gets going, it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. He's like a train going down a hill. But if he never gets to the top of the hill, he can never start the rhythm.
Yeah.
And Jones would always cut him off right before he would start. Like he would keep him out at jabs range.
Uh-huh.
And then as soon as Gustafsson would try to engage him and try to blitz, he would pop him and then move away. And that would fuck his whole rhythm up.
But okay, so let me just step in real quick. Do you remember how the fight started?
Yeah.
The first bell?
Yeah.
He won right there, in my opinion.
Why you say that?
He fucked his head. He just stayed there.
Right, he didn't engage him.
He made Gustafsson walk towards him
all the way across the cage.
It fucked him up. I feel like he tried to act natural, but I think I think it had him thinking so much.
Yeah, he second guessed everything.
It threw him off for the rest of the fight. He fucked him. He fucked him right. Some people like Connor can beat people way before the fight.
Way before.
I think he mentally beat him right there.
I can see that.
And it opened up to where he could injure his groin. No, I'm not even making a joke. I'm serious. Like, that's what happened. It made him kind of sloppier, so he got off more leg kicks and kind of made him step weird or whatever. I don't know exactly how it injured.
Right.
But Gustafsson even said, like, you can come doing Rocky if you will. I don't even care. I don't care about all that.
We both know that's bullshit.
He was humble in defeat. He said he was the better man.
He was. Now this is the question I ask you.
And not a lot of people know about the injury either, so maybe he's not even trying to make excuses about that either.
I agree, because this is the first time I'm hearing about it. But this is my question to you. If Jones comes up positive for steroids post-fight, could Gustafsson petition for a no contest?
Technically, he can petition for a no contest now. What are you talking about? Well, I mean, he was already positive. The rule is 0%.
I agree.
Technically, it's a no contest now.
I agree.
Like, why isn't DC not saying this? Because once you said that, it kind of made me realize, like, technically, it's a no contest already.
Right, I agree. but the UFC knew about it. USADA knew about it, and the California Athletic Commission knew about it. So they sanctioned the fight on that knowledge already that he was hot. But after the fact, he shouldn't be hot anymore, apparently. I know everybody's thinking that, yes, the steroids can stay in the system longer, blah, blah, blah. But once you have the fight, then you have to test again. and say, I'm going off the fight now. I'm going off what we know. We know that he was hot for 60 picograms of whatever metabolite.
Mm-hmm.
If he comes up as 61 picograms of whatever, or 70 picograms or whatever, I mean, that means he's more hot than he was when he started. So at that point, do you call for a no contest if you're Alexander Gustafsson? Or do you say, fuck it, this guy's untouchable, I just need to go back?
He needs to move on.
He needs to move on.
100%. Jon Jones is untouchable. And I think the sport probably should just change, honestly, because everybody's on it.
Say what?
They should change. They should change it. They shouldn't.
They should let them do steroids?
Or they shouldn't monitor it. I mean, yeah.
Whoa,
why not?
whoa. Hell no, dude. Hell fucking no.
I mean, steroids is...
No, absolutely not. This sport should be fucking clean. And I'm going to...
Has it ever been clean?
No.
Ever.
I didn't say it has been clean. I said it should be clean. I said this sport should be clean. Every sport should be...
Football's never been clean.
Every sport should be clean. Should be clean. But it's not. I understand that. I'm not naive.
We should accept it.
No, we shouldn't accept it, because there's guys out there like TC, like Gustafsson, that have never been popped for PEDs, that are doing it the right way.
Are we sure?
Yes,
sure
we're
that
sure.
Gustafsson is just doing it natural?
Yeah, because everybody's in the USADA testing pool.
Maybe he just knows the right thing. Maybe he's ahead of the game more than Jones is.
I highly
It's possible.
fucking doubt
it's
that.
possible. I don't think so either, but it's possible.
I highly doubt that. Highly doubt that.
We know DC's never. He probably never did it. He seems like a good old boy that's, I don't touch drugs.
Right. There are guys
I'll
out
eat fried chicken, though.
There are guys out there that never touch drugs. And you come into a sport thinking that the game is going to be fair.
Some guys actually know it's not fair, and they don't give a shit.
I'm not saying that they do. And yes, everybody's going to play Mr. Tough Guy.
Not everybody.
Who doesn't?
DC.
DC fought Jones anyway, didn't he?
No, he already said, I'm not going to fight Jones if he tests positive again.
No shit. I mean, I wouldn't either.
Bisping.
Bisping what? What about Bisping?
He's been an advocate against people that do steroids.
Yeah, I agree.
He's huge on that.
Did you hear about the shit that Jones was saying on to Bisping?
No.
Oh, that was great.
What happened?
So, Bisping brought up the question that I asked you, that if Jones tested positive after the fight, can they call a no contest? So, during the Fox interview, Jones didn't even acknowledge that the question was even asked.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, Michael Bisping was interviewing Jon Jones. This
Okay.
is before the fight happened.
Okay.
He said, John, if you test positive after the fight, has there been a conversation of if you come up positive, is it still going to be considered a win?
Okay.
If you win. And Jones said, yeah, I'm really excited for this fight. You know, I'm going to look forward to it. He didn't even acknowledge the fight at all. He didn't
Okay.
even acknowledge the question. Excuse me. He didn't even acknowledge the question.
All right.
So what Bisping said on his podcast just recently was that when the cameras went off,
Okay.
Jones was like, Bisping, is that motherfucker going to ask me stupid-ass questions like that again? What the fuck? And Bisping was kind of taken aback by it and kind of laughed it off. But it's kind of funny that Jones would say that.
Why?
Well, if you ain't got nothing to hide, then why say that?
Because you don't want to focus on mistakes that have happened.
What do you mean?
If he's innocent, say it's all innocent. He's innocent. I don't think so. I don't think he is.
Okay.
But just to put it out there, like, say he's all innocent, would you, and you're in his shoes, would you want somebody to keep bringing up a weird glitch in the error?
No, but I wouldn't act like it never happened. And then I certainly wouldn't call him a motherfucker after the cameras go off.
I would.
Really?
I would say, bitch, you know you ain't ever gonna fight me. You motherfucker. You gonna see this punch coming?
Hell no, Bisping ain't gonna see the punch coming. He can barely see, isn't it?
Now you can see.
Oh,
But
shit.
all joking aside, Jones did his thing. Grounded, pounded Alex out 3rd round. Did his thing.
You know what I really liked about it is that he went for the half Nelson to pound him out. He didn't go for the half Nelson to get the submission. He tried to
Turn him over.
no, he tried to fake. He tried to go for the submission to get him to open up.
Yeah.
So he could pound him out.
Yeah.
He didn't go for the submission and just to try and tap him out. He went the submission to open him up, which is you don't see that too often. You know, where the guy would go for a submission to open your defenses up to pound the guy out. That I like that. I like that that strategy. That was pretty good. And now I don't like Jon Jones, and I think he's a cheat, and I'll stick by that as far as
Cheating, not cheating. He's not going to be beaten by many.
no, I don't think he's either because I think the fight IQ and the talent is too high. The thing that boggles my mind is the guy doesn't need steroids. The guy doesn't need to cheat. The guy doesn't need to do all this shit, and he does it anyway. And the fact that the UFC brass or whoever, the powers that be in charge, like him enough to see him through to the championship or to move a venue or whatever is beyond me.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I think you're showing preferential treatment, and I understand that you're...
That's everywhere.
But I understand that you're money horse, whatever. But
I'm sure at your job, there's people that get preferential treatment.
yeah, I guess. I mean,
It's everywhere.
I guess there's everywhere there's a golden boy, but it just pisses me off that you're going to come off and say that this is a legitimate sport and treat people like that test positive and that test do this because Frank Mir didn't get that chance. Tom Lawler sure as hell didn't get that chance when they tested positive for picograms of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we joke and say Frank Mir ate a bunch of kangaroo meat and shit.
Well, that's what his excuse was.
That's
That's why I said that.
I understand and everything, but he didn't get that chance like Jon Jones did.
Yeah.
And Tom Lawler got fucking cut.
Tom Lawler's a goofball, and he went to pro wrestling and shit. Different mindsets, though. Frank Mir's on the end of his career. Jon Jones is still hungry and still top of the fucking chain right now.
Right, I agree. But
Tom Lawler's like...
But how many times has Jon Jones got to piss on himself or piss on his opportunities till you go, that's enough?
Stop or you're going to make my cheetah just appear if you say piss one more time.
So, Jones beat Gustafsson. That was kind of expected. I don't know how you felt about it. I kind of felt the same thing. I was like, expect it.
So, like, just my last words on it is after the fight, Jones was saying some kind of weird stuff, but basically trying to call out DC to come fight him. He said, "Daddy's home" or some weird shit.
Ah, fuck him,
That
man.
was a little cringe. Kind of talked, in my opinion, trash talk.
Yeah.
Like, and then I actually even heard on the rumor mill that Gustafsson is talking about moving up to heavyweight. I've heard that in the past, so that'd be kind of cool to see Alexander Gustafsson go to heavyweight.
I'd like to see that. You know, that actually intrigues me a
It's
little
like
bit.
move on.
Yeah.
You know, you already got fucked up by everybody that was top of the light heavyweight division.
It's so weird that those guys have that like ceiling, like they get to the championship fight and can never grab gold.
Yeah, I mean, what you think about all the like top light heavyweights in the past couple of years, and anytime he fought like top guys, he just wasn't there, or he couldn't get the win.
He couldn't get it done. Right. So moving on, let's move on to the end of the year stuff, man. So I got 3 categories. I got knockout of the year, submission of the year, and fight of the year.
Okay.
Do you have any takes on it, or do you want me to tell you mine and then you
tell me yours, and then I'll say if I agree or if I have one to rebuttal.
Okay. So submission of the year, right? Submission of 2018, I said was Brian Ortega versus Cub Swanson. When Brian Ortega choked out Cub Swanson, he grabbed him he grabbed his neck and had an arm-in guillotine. I think this is submission of the year because not many people can complete an arm-in guillotine let, on the ground, let alone standing in the air. So Cub Swanson was standing, and Brian Ortega jumps on him at the cage and locks in an arm-in guillotine while standing and chokes him out, and he never falls to the ground. Mm-hmm. So that's my submission of the year right there.
Yeah, I like that submission, but also it's like, it was in a way it was expected. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it is Cub Swanson.
Well, and it's T-City.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to get a submission off.
Right.
So for me, I would be like maybe one that wasn't exactly expected. Like, Ariel actually had it on his awards.
That was my close second.
What was the name?
Aljamain Sterling and Zabit.
Yeah, same night they had that rolling heel hook type deal.
Well, it wasn't a rolling heel hook. So
something like that,
So
right?
what they had was the guy, they had the back.
Yeah, and then they dropped.
They reached down instead of getting shook off. The guy was standing, and they were on their back.
Yeah.
And they grabbed their leg and pulled back for a hamstring pull or a knee bar kind of situation. What it does is it straightens the leg out while bent over, and it just plays hell on the hamstring. I forget what the actual submission is called, but you guys can take a look at it. Just Google or YouTube Aljamain Sterling submission, and I'm sure it'll come up. And this guy grabs his heel, pulls it back. As they fall, it just tears hell on the knee, tears hell on the hamstring, and he has no choice but to tap. And that submission in particular has only happened once. Other than that, in the 25 years of the UFC being around.
Yeah. And it happened twice that night.
Twice that night, within an hour, which
That's
is
why
crazy.
it's like it's hard not to call that both of those submissions one submission of the night. I mean,
Right.
of the year.
Right.
But I just wanted to give them an honorable mention, especially because somebody else already put them as theirs.
Oh yeah.
My favorite submission. Mm-hmm. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
You're gonna think this is a good one. Cowboy.
Oh, Cowboy and Mike Perry?
Yep.
Yes.
That was a good ass.
That
It was
was
like
a-
armbar, right?
Yes, it
but
was
it's just the
sick-ass
way he was
armbar.
holding it, pulling on it.
Yeah, he was looking at the crowd. He was telling everybody, "Yeah, I got this shit. This is mine."
Yep, and you know it all came together kind of good because we expected a striking fight, and for some reason Mike Perry made the mistake of trying to take down Cowboy.
What an idiot!
Like it was an unexpected moment, and he capitalized on it. It was
Yes,
awesome.
yes, it was great.
So that's why that's mine. I like mine because he liked his because it was so professional and
it's very technical.
he did what he wanted to do.
It's very technical, and you don't see it completed that often. You see a lot of attempts on it, but you never see it completed.
Mine was like, and I like mine because it was just like a mind blown moment.
Yes, it was a very good, heartfelt moment for Cowboy and Donald Cerrone and Mike Perry.
There was
Mike
plenty
Perry,
of memes
but-
going around where you could just see Cowboys. That's Donald Cerrone. You could see his face when how intense he was. A lot of them, the funniest ones was they had him as Ace Ventura coming out the Rhino, squeezing through the little hole like Ace Ventura did.
Oh yeah.
So what's the next category we
So
got
the next
here?
category is knockout of the year,
All right,
and that's an easy
we
one.
already went over this a
Yeah,
lot.
that's so easy. I can't speak enough about this
He
knockout.
said it's easy, but I got a different one than him.
Really? Okay, so my knockout of the year was Yair Rodriguez and Korean Zombie. It was 1 second left of the 5th round of this fight, and this guy knocks him out with an obscure elbow that looked almost like a headbutt. It
Yeah.
was so well disguised and put Korean Zombie on his face. I mean,
Did you see the opposite angle?
when? Where?
Because I've seen a video recently where they have like you're looking at it from behind Korean Zombie,
really.
and it just looks so flush. It's just awesome how you get to see how he ducks. And it really does look like a kung fu master. You know, like they're all flowy and shit.
Yeah.
The way it was like a form. The way he ducked his head and threw the elbow up in the air.
Right.
It kind of like looked like a martial art, like a real Chinese kung fu martial artist, like for real, like back in the day type shit, like some Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was flowing with it.
That knockout had me on my feet, and you guys, I think you guys were like, you guys were tired that night, but I could not stand.
Well, we rewatched that fight together. I think.
Yeah, we did.
I rewatched it a couple times
because that fight was so fucking good. But yes, I agree. Or that's my fight of or knockout of the year was Yair Rodriguez versus the Korean Zombie. That whole fight was awesome, and yeah, I can't say enough about it. And I'm starting to go for Yair Rodriguez is my new favorite fighter. The way he fights, I kind of like it.
He's been ducking the beat though.
He has been
it's
ducking.
kind of a bitch on that.
Well, Carl, I can't win for fucking losing. As soon as you bitch at me for choosing Jose Aldo as my favorite fighter, now you're bitching me out for Yair. Come on, motherfucker. Can I fucking win?
I'm
Can
sorry.
I win?
He
Can
just
I
likes
win?
he likes to pick bitches.
Can I win? Fuck you. Yeah, you pitch.
I've been hating on Yair for a while now. I even had him as Howard the Duck the one time because I said he ducks too many fights.
You fucking pick ragdoll bitches. Hendo got ragdoll by DC.
So speaking of DC, that's my knockout of the year.
That's your knockout of the year?
DC and Stipe.
Okay.
That was a shocker. Nobody expected. I mean, I
Hell
expected
no.
that. If you don't remember, I was telling as soon as this fight even got rumored, I was telling everyone and anyone, DC, 100%. I'm not a huge fan of DC. I'm really not. But at the same time, I am.
Right.
And I even said, the thing is like I was like, look, just because he trained for Jon Jones twice, his skill level is very, very high, and he went toe to toe with Jones even on the second fight. And I just knew he was going to knock out Stipe.
That was a crazy fight.
Yep.
I mean, he kept calling and he said, "Watch the clinch." He lets his guard down during a clinch, and then bam.
So that was a hell of a knockout.
Yes. I actually
That's
like
my
that
knockout of the year.
So what do you think for fight of the year? What's your fight of the year?
Okay, so see, this is so debatable. Like, or the idea of fight of the year. I always get annoyed by this because I feel like some people say fight of the year and they think, if somebody put on a performance, it's a fight of the year. Like, so I hope I'm not shitting all over you because
Of course you will, but go ahead.
a lot of times my idea of fight of the year or fight of the card or whatever is different than because so I feel like a lot of people would say if a performance was very dominant, that's fight of the night or whatever. No, I like it when I think fight for it to be a fight of the night, fight of the year, it's got to be back and forth.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, it's got to be a little give and go,
Yes,
That being said,
has to be competitive.
Thiago Santos versus
Jimmy Manawa.
Eric Anders.
Eric Anders, not Jimmy Manawa.
They both were kind of similar, but I feel like Eric Anders, the way he went out,
Okay.
and it lasted longer.
It did last
So
longer.
so Jimmy Manuwa's more recent, and they were going at it really hard.
Yeah.
But do you remember Eric Anders when he fought him?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, he fought till he was fully exhausted.
Oh, he could not walk afterwards.
So I mean, I feel like that fight was awesome. I mean, I was really excited for that fight, and it delivered, but it didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. But made me a huge fan of Thiago Santos.
Yes, I'm a big fan of Thiago Santos after that fight.
I love how he'll just do a jump spinning kick.
For no reason.
He'll be like, fuck it might land. And then next thing you know, he throws like 3 more. It's like, does this guy ever get tired?
No, hell no, he doesn't.
Throws everything with craziness.
Yes. And I know this is kind of stupid.
I have a feeling I already know who you're going to say.
So my fight of the year is Yair and Korean Zombie.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to. I thought you were going to say Brian Ortega versus.
No, I'm not.
Because that's the one. I almost said that, but I almost use that as an example of why I think that wasn't a good fight of the year.
The reason it wasn't a good fight of the year
Because it was very one-sided.
It was one-sided, but I would say that was the most anticipated fight of the year was Brian Ortega and Max Holloway.
I don't know. Jon Jones. I mean,
Okay,
Conor McGregor. Come on.
Okay. I retract my statement. But the fight of the year, the one that was the most competitive for me, was Korean Zombie and Yair Rodriguez. That fight was not anticipated to be like this big fight.
Well, it was a last minute change. Well, maybe not so last minute, but it wasn't the original fight.
Correct. It wasn't the original fight, and then when you got the two in there, it was just back and forth, back and forth. You didn't know who was going to win going into the fifth round.
I think majority of people thought Korean Zombie was going to win by experience alone.
Right, and then that crazy ending, and then how both fighters now, I'm talking Korean Zombie and Yair, put every single ounce of effort that they had into that fight.
And they both fought exactly like they always fight.
Exactly.
Zombie was doing the zombie thing, eating punches, walking and throwing his own.
Yair was doing crazy
Yair
kicks.
Was doing his thing.
Yeah, crazy kicks, crazy knees.
And honestly, it wasn't looking too good for Yair.
You know,
it was back and forth, and I would say Zombie had the edge.
I think he was outstriking him. But
either way, he lost because he got knocked out last second.
Right, but I mean, just that shit had me out of my seat from round 2 to round 5, and I just could not get enough of it. I can't wait to see Korean Zombie fight again. I can't wait to see Yair fight again. I want to see both of these guys now.
Yeah,
that's what makes fight of the year for me. Is afterwards when you go, man, I want to see both of these guys. What's next for them?
Yeah.
That makes a fight of the year for me.
My only problem is Eric Anders didn't look too good against Elias Theodora.
Right afterwards, he shit the bed.
Well, whatever. He'll come back.
Yeah, I wish
he had just had the last fight he had. It
was a fucking.
It was
war.
rough before that.
It was a war.
All right, so is there any more?
That's the only 3 best ofs that I had.
Do you want to maybe talk about So, is there any other categories at all, like most improved fighter or breakout fighter? Or?
Well, I mean, pretty much most of my, if you want to go down that route, most of mine agree with Ariel Helwani's.
Yeah. Where
breakout fighter Israel Adesanya, most improved fighter would be Anthony Smith. I didn't really do a lot of this best of because we had so much to talk about with UFC 232, and I wanted to do these end of the year
and I already
titles.
told you I've been in a haze myself, so
right.
I forgot all about this.
Right. So let's move on.
All right.
And who do you think's going to end up with the belts at the end of 2019, starting with the women's featherweight title? I know they don't have it on UFC.com, but we know it exists. And who do you think is going to own that title at the end of the year?
So there's also rumors that this might be phased out along with 125 for men's.
Okay.
I just throwing it out there. It might or might not be. I wouldn't mind if they did phase it out. Whatever. There's not enough in the division right now. But if we keep it, I'm going to say we're not right. Oh, same as it is right now.
Amanda Nunes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
If she fights anyone, 145,
she's going to fucking destroy him.
She's going to fuck him up.
That's what I have. I have women's featherweight and women's bantamweight as Amanda Nunes. I don't see anybody touching this chick. She's the lioness. She is just rocking people left to right. There's nobody even close to her level right now.
Yeah, she's got hands of stone, man.
Oh my God, yeah. That just and a fight IQ to back it up too. The way she dismantled Raquel Pennington, and now she dismantled Cyborg on top of that. I mean, just come on.
She was nice to Raquel in a way.
I don't think she was.
In a way, she was trying to be nice, and then she had her chance to give up, but her fucking coach threw her back in her. I just mean, I don't think that she really. I don't think she probably could have knocked her off first round.
Okay, I
you know what I mean? Like, she was trying to be like, keep it competitive.
I guess whatever. All right. So
I mean,
Who do you have for the women's flyweight division?
Was it strawweight or flyweight?
Flyweight. So
I forgot about that division, actually.
So right now, Valentina.
Same.
Shevchenko. I don't see anybody touching Valentina right
nobody's
now
touching
either.
her. Nobody's touching her.
Right.
She's gonna be reigning champ.
Right. Her technique and her pressure is just too flawless right now.
And I see maybe her fighting
Who?
Amanda Nunes at 135.
Okay. Well,
It's possible. It could happen.
it's a super fight. I don't think it needs to happen.
She wants it.
I know they want it. I understand that they want it, but I don't.
No. Amanda doesn't want it. Seriously, that's how it is.
Okay.
So that's where it gets interesting.
Okay. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Who knows?
If I was Dana, I would make that fight because you lock up too many divisions at once. But whatever. So moving on. So the women's strawweight division right now, Thug Rose Namajunas is the champion. Who do you have at the end of the year?
So that girl. She got Pat Barry in her corner.
Yeah.
You know, Pat Barry show her the way.
Mm-hmm.
She's good.
Yeah,
She's a head case.
That is true.
She openly admits that.
Yeah.
Jessica Andrade, scary.
She is scary.
That's little baby Vanderlei Silva.
I do. I think she's a little too aggressive.
I got her beating
You got her.
Rose
Mm-hmm.
and being champ next year.
See, what I have Jessica Andrade beating Rose. I
Okay.
have that too.
Okay.
But then I have her taking a fight after that before the end of the year with Nina Azaroff. And Nina beating her.
I thought Nina was at 135.
No, Nina's at 125. Or Nina's at 115. Sorry.
Is she?
Yes. I checked the rankings to be
Okay,
sure.
I thought I was wrong with that.
Right.
I mean, yeah, whatever. I'm wrong.
So I have mine, Nina Azaroff, at the end of the year, beating everybody and being the champ.
Andrade.
Yes, Andrade. So you have Andrade, I have Azaroff. You don't think Namajunas is going to retain the title this year? You think this is a year for the...
I think she's going to lose her
strawweight?
drive and focus, and she's a head case, so it's not going to... And if she has to fight Andrade,
Oh, yeah.
her head's going to explode.
I think so, too.
Because she's kind of scary. But then again, she might think, hey, I got her number.
Yeah.
She smoked, what's her name? Who she's out of the talks, really.
Who? Oh, Joanna?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joanna needs to go back to the drawing board and see what she can come up with.
All right, now that we got through the boring part.
Okay. Who do you got for heavyweight?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. You're going to think I'm crazy.
I know you're crazy, but let's hear it.
Alistair Overeem.
Shut the fuck up.
See, I knew it. I knew he was going to be upset with me. Look, I'm excited, man. He started training with blades. He got a new skill set that he's very good with, and he already has the base of a stand-up striker. Now he's looking crazy on the ground.
He's looking crazy on the ground as a ground and pound, but if you put him on his back, does he have the same power? Does he have the same drive?
Can he just roll him up? He's wrestling with blades. Can he just roll him over and have his way?
I don't know, man.
I think he will. And so let me put it to you this way. Curtis Blades meets Francis Ngannou. They have a baby, Alistair Overeem. So he's got great stand up,
Okay.
and he's also got good ground and pound now.
Yeah.
So you know what? I could be wrong,
You are.
but 11 out of 13 on the last fights.
Yeah.
So-
can't knock that.
We'll see. We'll see how dumb I am at the end of the year. I could be dumb. I was back and forth with a lot of different people, but I feel like Overeem's gonna do it.
Oh yeah, December coming. We're gonna mark this on the calendar, and we're gonna come back and look at this and see how bad we are or how good we are.
Yeah.
Somebody could explode on the scene before then, but
Yeah, that's another thing I was saying. Like, there's gonna be plenty of new people.
oh yeah. So the one that I have Stipe Miocic.
You think he's coming back?
I think he's coming back because
I thought you were gonna go with Lesnar.
you know. What I think's going to happen is I think that Lesnar's not going to fight because he's going to be in WWE, and I think Jones isn't going to come up to heavyweight to fight DC. So I think the only logical fight to do is DC versus Stipe, and I think Stipe trains and beats DC. I think that he figured out what he did wrong, and I think that he can overcome it. And I have DC not as hungry as he was before, and I think that's going to be in Stipe's favor, and Stipe's going to take it.
DC will remain undefeated in heavyweight division at even like when he retires, because he's retiring in March.
Yeah. So we're going to find out pretty soon.
Yeah.
So moving on.
Light heavyweight. I went first last time. You go first this time.
Oh, Jon Jones. Jon Jones ain't going to touch it. Jon Jones got the back of UFC brass, and I have him not being challenged pretty much at all in 2019.
Okay, so he had put on record that he wants to fight 3 times because he has a rage that he needs to feed or something weird like that.
Okay.
You also didn't put into account that he is a fuck up and he could be vacated. So, either way, I don't know how it's going to happen. By the end of the year, Thiago Santos is going to be the light heavyweight champion.
Wow, that is bold. That is a bold statement.
Santos is going to get it.
That is a bold statement.
He's a bad motherfucker.
He is a badass motherfucker.
There's talk about Jon Jones fighting Anthony Smith.
I would like to see that.
Thiago Santos beat Anthony Smith. I want to. Maybe they should fight beforehand.
That's a whole. Okay, the Thiago Santos that fought Anthony Smith back then is not the same Anthony Smith of now.
Neither was it. Ain't the same Thiago Santos. I think they fought at 185 the first time.
I agree. I think it's a totally different fight, and I think it needs to happen before they fight Jones. Anthony Smith and Thiago Santos.
They're both
at 205.
They're both well rounded.
Yes.
And they're both reckless and intense.
Yes.
I think that Anthony Smith has a more strategic approach.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Santos has the talent to beat him.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Okay. We're gonna look back at this at the end of the year.
Who'd you say for light? Oh, Jones.
Yeah,
I'm surprised. Jones hater says Jones is gonna stay light heavyweight champ.
I just think he's got Dana White in his pocket.
Ricky, can you get off the fence?
He's got.
I hate Jon Jones. He'll be the light heavyweight champ forever. He will fucking never lose.
Well, when you have
Matt Hamill is the devil.
Matt Hamill.
He's the only one to beat Jon Jones in existence.
I agree. I agree.
All right.
Okay.
I'll go first this time.
Okay, go ahead.
We'll go back and forth. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
All right. So middleweight.
Yes.
Right? That's the next one down.
Yes.
I think you already know where I'm going to go.
Go ahead.
Israel Adesanya.
I agree.
Stylebender.
Stylebender is.
He's coming fast.
Oh my God, he is going to knock everybody out. I don't see anybody touching this kid.
It's normal. Rest in peace, Anderson Silva. That's the next victim.
That poor Silva. He's gonna get fucking destroyed.
And then after that, he'll probably fight the winner between Kelvin Gastelum and
Robert Whittaker.
Robert Whittaker, I like Robert Whittaker, but I feel like he doesn't have Kelvin Gastelum's number.
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with you, and I like Robert Whittaker. I think he's a good wrestler. I think he's a good striker, but I think Gastelum's got a better wrestling, and I think he's going to take him down and ground him out.
So since we're just talking about middleweight right now and kind of like who's going to be champ,
right.
I think it's kind of interesting that Weidman's not even in the talks anymore. It's just so weird.
I think Weidman needs to go up to 205.
His chin is he's starting to lose his chin.
Well, yeah, because he fights. He doesn't fight safe.
He's fighting. I mean, he's getting caught, dude. He got caught. Remember when Yoel caught him with the flying knee when he was going in for a takedown?
Yeah, and Jacare.
Jacare is in the
really
mix.
Good fight.
Yeah, Jacare's in the mix of might be champion.
Jacare's another one like Gustafsson. As soon as he gets to the championship level,
Yeah.
he hits a ceiling, and it's just like I really like Jacare a lot, but God, man, I just want to see the guy.
So
Go over that ceiling, break through that glass ceiling.
So this is what I think should happen. Israel Adesanya versus
Robert Whittaker.
Silva.
Okay.
Because
yeah.
we already know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Another fight that's been lined up, and we don't know if it's official yet again or not. Yoel versus Paulo Costa.
Mm-hmm.
Take those two winners
Okay.
and fight each other.
Okay.
Then they fight the champ.
Okay. I see Israel winning all of that.
Yeah.
And then this is what I see in Israel's future, just like you put me onto this master plan.
Well, we first heard hints of stuff like this with Chael. I think we might even talked about it before.
Yeah. So I see Israel winning the championship in middleweight, and then petitioning Dana to fight Jon Jones.
So I mean, if that plan is in motion, he's not going to fight. The next fight after Anderson Silva will be the championship fight.
Yeah, it'll be Robert Whittaker or Kevin Gaston,
But
whoever wins.
it makes if Paul Costa and Yoel Romero have a really good fight, if they fight.
Yeah, well, they got to make weight and everything else. But.
All right, so
moving on, welterweight.
This is you first.
Okay. I don't see Tyron losing. I see Tyron winning and Tyron staying.
100% agree.
I'll beat your ass, nigga. That's what I see.
I'll beat your ass.
That's what I see.
If y'all don't know, he's got a song out. He's got Wiz Khalifa on there. And another guy I don't really know, but I like the song.
Yeah. So I don't see Tyron losing anytime soon, unless Dana spikes his drug test and say that he's juicing and losing it as some kind of a fluke.
Well, every chance he gets, he makes an interim title for welterweight.
I know.
So I mean, he might vacate him just randomly. Like, you haven't fought for 30 days. Fuck you, Tyron.
Oh my God, he hates fucking Tyron so bad.
We talk about preferential treatment. He's the one that the boss just hates and just wants to fire badly.
Oh my God,
but can never get him on anything.
Never.
But he's good.
Yes, Tyron is. I'll tell you what.
I saw rumors of him fighting McGregor, which has been off and on for a while now.
Christ.
It's like, dude,
Tyron
he will
would
kill that boy.
Kill McGregor.
He'll kill that boy.
He would kill it.
I'll beat your ass.
Tyron wouldn't. McGregor wouldn't have a fucking face afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He'd be like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah. Jesus, he'd knock his ass back to fucking leprechaun days. That motherfucker would kill him.
All right.
So moving on.
Lightweight.
Who you got?
All right. You ready for this one?
I want to hear this.
This is the one I had trouble with.
This is the one. Okay, let me hear it.
El Kukui.
You have Tony fucking Ferguson,
Tony,
the light heavyweight champion.
Lightweight, not light heavyweight.
Oh, sorry, the lightweight champion of 2019.
Yeah, technically in my eyes, he's still the fucking champ.
Ah, fuck no. Khabib's gonna kill him. Khabib is gonna lock them long.
So you got Khabib.
I got Khabib whipping that ass.
Khabib. See, I keep seeing this stuff saying that Khabib's definitely not fighting Tony Ferguson next.
No, he's gonna fight Conor again, which is fucking stupid. But whatever.
All right.
Whatever. I'm saying when that fight happens, when Khabib whips Conor's ass again, because Conor doesn't have a fucking gas tank, nor does he have a ground game, I see him fighting El Kukui, and Kukui getting his legs locked up and not knowing what the fuck to do and getting hurt. So I see Khabib.
So you got Khabib.
Winning. I got Khabib 100%.
Beating everybody 155. All right.
The eagle has landed, everybody.
All right. So this one I asked Ricky to add because it's back and forth. Nobody knows if it's going to happen or not. The 165. It keeps getting rumored it's going to happen. If it's going to happen at all, it will happen this year.
Yeah.
And so I just went first. You go first on 165. Okay. Who you got?
165. I have Tony Ferguson. That's who I have.
That's a good idea. I mean, I like that too.
That's who I have winning. I think I think that if they're gonna make a 165 division, that you're gonna see Tony Ferguson, you're gonna see
Max Holloway.
You're gonna see
A lot of good guys.
You're gonna see Kevin Lee,
Possibly Michael Chiesa.
Yeah, well, I think he found his home at 170. I don't think he wants to cut that
He
5
might
pounds.
do that little bit of pounds. That's still 10 more pounds than 155.
I agree, but I don't think. I think he really. I think what he did with Carlos Condit. I think he wants to.
Well, either way,
to
it was just a
words.
name I'll throw out there. And
I agree. But I think out of all those 165ers, those tweeners between 145 and 170s,
yeah,
I think Tony Ferguson is head and shoulders above everybody.
I think I like him at 170. Tony.
Tony?
Yeah, I like him at 170.
That's a lot
I
of
mean, you
weight
already
to put
know-
on. I mean, he's going from 155 to 170.
I meant to say I
You
like
mean
him.
165?
I like him at 155. That's what I mean to say.
You mean 155 or 165?
I like him at 155, not 165.
Okay,
Do you understand what I'm trying to say now?
When you say it that way, yes.
I was mixing up my own words, okay? But my 165er,
Yeah.
lesser known guy,
Okay.
but I've been kind of hot on him
Oh
since
shit.
he's been kind of like really doing his thing. It's Tony Martin,
Tony Martin.
Tony Rocco Martin.
Oh, Rocco. Okay,
Rocco.
Okay.
Okay, I
You
wouldn't
think-
I wouldn't have said he would be on top unless the way he talked after his last fight.
Well,
He said, "Fuck Askren, make the division around me."
Yeah.
So he's hungry and he wants to. Basically, what I'm saying is he wants to take over a division,
Yes.
and he knows that the 165 might happen, and he's like, if it does, it's my fucking division. I like that attitude.
I do.
I think that if he can keep it going, he'll be champ.
Now, who was his last fight against? Exactly.
I know exactly what it looks like. I just cannot think of his name right now.
Exactly.
No, he's also a good candidate for 165.
Exactly.
You're stupid. Jake Matthews, god damn it.
Okay. I understand. Yeah.
And then he beat right before that he beat
nobody.
whatever, yeah.
I'm just saying, Tony Martin.
No, he's beating some notable good fighters.
right. Tony Martin's
And
one
he's
of
not
those guys that
he's whipping their ass.
he's a dark horse.
Yeah.
I like Tony Martin. Tony Martin's got a lot of good qualities, a good striker, but
We'll see who's dumb at the end of the year, man.
yeah, we're gonna see. So
1 year
I
from
got
now.
Tony Ferguson, you got Tony Martin. Moving on to Rocco. Moving on to featherweight. Who you got?
Holloway.
Holloway. Yeah,
Blessed era.
Yeah, blessed.
this
That
is
blessed
just 'cause-
train is. I fucked up by ever thinking that the blessed train was ever gonna be derailed.
Choo choo, motherfucker.
That motherfucker is sick, and with his combinations, pressure, stance switching, range, all that, it's just fucking.
It is what
sick.
it is.
It's fucking sick.
He
And-
loves it.
And I can't knock him as much as I'd like to. I gotta respect the skill.
Yeah.
And Max Holloway, I see Max Holloway as well not being dethroned anytime fucking soon.
All right. Before we get into the next two,
Okay.
just a side note, I meant to say. So I almost chose Cowboy Cerrone for 165.
Uh-huh.
Especially, how his last fight went, how he looked at his son right before he got in the ring. He was he was on point, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got a new drive. But he likes 155. He's so married to 155. It's like he doesn't, so I don't think he wants 165.
Right, he's loyal to a fault.
It's like, dude, just go up and wait, dude. You're still good at 170. You're still good at 165.
I agree.
But he's got a hard fight coming up.
Yeah.
But, so let's talk about bantamweight and flyweight.
Oh my god.
We got to talk about these two together because they're about to fight.
Yes.
Both champs.
So so who do you see winning?
We already know who I think's gonna win.
Jesus Christ, yeah, okay. So I guess I have to go on this one because I see it differently than you.
Go. You tell me what kind of dumbass shit you got brewing in that brain you think is a brain.
All right, so this is what I have going on. I have Henry Cejudo beating TJ
How?
in the upcoming with wrestling, I have him beating TJ with wrestling for 125 championship. Now, that being said, I don't think anybody in the bantamweight division is going to fucking touch TJ. The only person that even comes close is Dominic Cruz, and Dominic Cruz is going to be out for the year with an injury.
He might retire.
I'd like to see Cruz retire because I think
his commentary is good.
I think Cruz's commentary is better than his fighting. I think he has a better fight IQ than most people give him credit for. But I don't see anybody touching TJ, even close at bantamweight. But I do think Henry Cejudo gives him a lot of trouble at flyweight. I think that cut is going to be very difficult for TJ, as much as he says that it's good and that he's on point and he's ready to cut.
Look at me looking at you, Ricky. I'm giving you that face like you're a dumb motherfucker. All right, can I interject?
Of course, you always do, motherfucker. What's up?
All right, look, I've been paying attention.
No, you haven't.
I've been paying attention to this weight class.
Okay.
I've been really enjoying this weight class. So the last time that they all fought, they fought on the same card.
Right.
I was looking at weights of before the fight, what they weighed in at, and then what they came in at.
Right.
Cejudo weighs more than TJ Dillashaw before and after a fight.
Yeah.
TJ Dillashaw probably is more comfortable at 125 than Cejudo.
I don't know about that.
I think so. Because it's more of a cut for Cejudo.
Yeah, but I think Cejudo, with the team and the things that he's doing in his camp with the nutrition and everything right now, I think that he's going to be way better than he ever has been.
But TJ's got his own thing.
Oh, I agree.
So they're both doing next level shit.
It's a whole new world with them.
In a weird way, it's like they're like both doing groundbreaking new shit.
Right. Cejudo with this neurotechnology, and TJ with this blood, testing his blood every week.
And he's got his own fight camp that he personally puts together. His own, you know what I mean? He's got his own thing, and him and his coach is just they're on another level, dude.
Who is his coach again? I forget his name. Is it
Ludwig?
Yeah,
Dwayne Bang Ludwig.
Right, and they're basically in love with each other.
I wouldn't go that far. Come on now. Just think of it this way. It's like Ludwig is an old school fighter. You know, he's been around, right?
Right.
He's very good. Mm-hmm. And him and TJ just click very well. I look at it like this. Ludwig is smart as hell and got a great fight IQ, which TJ does too, but, you know, he's the master, right?
Yeah.
Dwayne is. It's almost like Dwayne has a controller in his hand, like an Xbox or PlayStation controller, and he just tells TJ what to do.
Yeah.
And not only does TJ do what it does, but he might make adjustments during it.
You know
what I mean? And all he has to do is tell him like one or two little things, and TJ just like snaps into it and goes, "Oh, I know exactly what this motherfucker's talking about because we're like one unit."
Yeah.
You know? So that team and how he has a great team, his own gym, you know what I mean? And his own. Okay, what Cejudo's got his own thing going on. I think TJ's got more of an established routine down.
Okay.
And he's got a better team, I believe.
Well, we're going to find out real soon because Cejudo versus TJ is when? January 19th?
Well, TJ said he's going to fucking out wrestle Cejudo. And
I don't see that.
There's a difference between wrestling and MMA wrestling.
I agree.
You can't punch somebody in the face in wrestling.
No, you can't. But Cejudo is super fucking quick. Like, really quick. Like, I've never seen the speed. The speed that he took Demetrius Johnson down was really uncanny. And I can't see TJ matching that speed. I can see him coming close.
I got TJ fucking sparking Mighty Mouse.
Oh, Mighty Mouse. You got TJ sparking Mighty Mouse?
I got TJ fucking putting a stamp on that motherfucker.
On Mighty Mouse.
100%. I had him winning that fight easily.
Wow. I didn't see that coming.
Dude, I had him winning that fight. I'm telling you, TJ pound for pound, he's like my top right now.
Okay, we're gonna find out,
Dude. He's just crazy.
Like I said, I don't see it. I think TJ is a very, very good fighter, but I think his wrestling's a little lacking.
I don't think so at all.
Not saying that it's not good, but it's not on the level of Henry Cejudo.
Now let me explain to you guys. I feel like Yair, for example, right? I hate on Yair before Ricky liked him. Okay.
This is the first time I actually came out and said that I like Yair.
No, but I hated on Yair beforehand, before you ever said anything.
Okay.
And even Aldo or whatever, I would hate on Aldo for certain things before you liked him. I feel like you just hate on TJ just because I like him. I feel like you hate on Henderson just because I like him.
I hate on Henderson because you like him. TJ's I have more scientific for because I think his wrestling's a little lacking.
I don't think so.
But Hendo's definitely because of you, but not TJ. But we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out at the end of the year. We're gonna come back to this podcast and we're gonna go through this because now not only do we have it written down, we're gonna have it published and online so we can figure it out. And you guys listening, you guys can comment and call us out on our bullshit. We love it. I can't wait for it. So
I want
everybody can tell Buddy to go fuck himself. I can't wait. We'll see how it goes.
We will see. And I think that maybe we should do a couple more predictions on another episode.
Okay.
This one's getting a little long. My ass is getting numb.
Yeah.
But maybe even make a few more statements for the end of the year.
I'm down with that.
Another one. But and I don't know about you, Ricky. Are you feeling like we should wrap it up around here?
Yeah, I think we hit that 5th round. What do you think?
Yeah, we're definitely getting to the 5th round, and I don't know. I ain't feeling like Zombie.
Right.
Are you feeling like Yair? You gonna come at me, bro?
I'll come at you, bro. Hit you with that crazy ass elbow. Put your face in the dirt, son. But
I definitely want to remind y'all to follow our Instagram.
Yes.
It's at MMA_Marks. And we're going to be doing a lot with it. I'm going to post a couple pictures this week. Just kind of like throw our favorite fighter and stuff like that. Just kind of just get a little bit more active with it. And be lookout for to play the fight picks with us. That was really fun. First time I ever won. Like I said, I got 11 out of 13. Ricky got 4.
Fuck you.
A couple other people did pretty good, but nobody did as good as me. But I guess I was ready for these fights. I was really excited. I had a whole extra week to think about these fights because there was a week without any fights.
I gotcha.
But we'll definitely be checking you out on the next one.
All right, man. I'm Ricky.
I'm Buddy.
We're out of here.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.